What's the distance between a welfare line and a $19 billion signature? What is the invisible barrier that separates a boy sweeping the floor of a grocery store from the man who would build an empire that connects a billion people? Most people will tell you it's luck, or genius, or timing. They are all wrong. It is a secret forged in the ice of a Ukrainian winter and the humility of a California food stamp office. It's a psychological trigger that can only be activated by having absolutely nothing to lose. It's called the purity of purpose. And by the end of this speech, you will understand exactly how to ignite it within yourself. The story begins not in Silicon Valley, but in a small village outside Kiev, in the heart of the Soviet Union. The year was 1976. A boy is born into a world of gray. His name is Koum. His home has no hot water. His school has no indoor bathroom. In the brutal winters, the students are sent running through the frozen air just to stay warm. But the most chilling thing wasn't the cold. It was the silence. His parents knew their phone lines were tapped by the state. Every conversation was a risk. Every word was weighed. He grew up in a world where true, private connection was a dangerous luxury. He learned in his very bones the profound human need to speak freely, without fear. At 16, that boy escapes. He and his mother land in Mountain View, California, with a single suitcase and a hope for something better. But the American dream doesn't just hand you a wealthy lifestyle. It hands you a dream. They get a small, two-bedroom apartment with government assistance. His mother works as a babysitter. Koum, a teacher takes a job sweeping the floors of a local grocery store. You see him, a quiet immigrant hand, head down, pushing dust and debris, the smell of disinfectant in his nostrils. Every year, they would walk to the social services office to collect their food stamps. This wasn't a chapter in his life. This was his entire reality. The bottom, rock bottom, a place most people see as a prison. But for Koum, it became his launch pad. Because when you have nothing, you waste nothing. Not a dollar, not a minute, not a single thought. This is the first law of the rags to riches mindset. The law of the frugal foundation. Koum didn't have money for college, so he bought used computer networking books from a local store. He taught himself. He devoured them, returned them, and bought more. Every dollar was a soldier sent on a mission for more knowledge. He gets a job at Yahoo. Works there for nearly a decade. He's good, he's stable, but he's not fulfilled. He quits. He and his friend Brian Acton apply for a job at a rising social media company. That company's name was Facebook. They were rejected. Think about that. The man who would one day receive a $19 billion check from Facebook was first told, "You're not good enough to work here." Rejection is not a stop sign. It is a GPS rerouting you to the place you were always meant to be. For Jan, that rejection was the spark that ignited everything. He remembered the tapped phone lines in Ukraine. He remembered the outrageous cost of international calling to stay in touch with family. He Zuckerberg, the man whose company had rejected him just a few years earlier. The offer was $19 billion, and now we come to the moment that defines his entire journey. Where did Jan Koum choose to sign the documents that would make him one of the richest men in the world? A fancy law office? A boardroom overlooking the city? He walked back to that sterile, anonymous social services building, the same building where he and his mother used to stand in line, waiting for food stamps. He leaned against the same door he once entered in desperation, and he signed the papers that sealed the $19 billion deal. He went back to the ghost of his past, not to erase it, but to honor it, to show it that every moment of struggle, every humiliation, every cold floor he ever swept was the price of admission to that victory. So what is it? What is that secret? That purity of purpose? It's the clarity you gain when you have no safety net.